Welcome to Viben Now, a collection of guided meditations put into podcast form for your easy listening. My name is Vivian Gerard, and I will be walking with you through the intoxicating now moments of life here on this planet. These audios are intended to be used as a full meditation if you want to close your eyes, settle down into a comfy spot, and let your subconscious come all the way forward. Or it can simply be some background conversation where the nuggets of information that you most need will make their way into your awareness. Whichever way it works for you, I invite you to open up and enjoy fully this journey of life that we are all taking together. So much love to you.
Okay, good morning. Good morning. Let us begin. And happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mamas, the grandmas, and the sons and the daughters of mothers. So we are going to dive right in. Whew. All right, go ahead and connect in with your body first. So feel yourself here wherever you are, in your chair, on the floor. If you're lucky enough to be sitting outside on the ground up against a tree, go ahead and start to connect in with your body. Yeah, and slow your breathing down. So allow yourself to connect to your breath. Yeah, and feel like the rush of arriving, getting everything in just the right place so that you can sit yourself down for a full hour. It's amazing how much effort that sometimes takes to say, yes, I claim for myself this hour to tune fully in. So notice how your body feels as you do that. Often for me, I'll feel kind of pulled. Literally, it's almost like a magnet kind of pulling me to go do something else or be busy somewhere else. And the first part of meditation often feels like this yo-yo or ping pong. The magnet wants to pull me this way, and I'm trying to just get myself to be here. So one of the easiest ways to transition into meditation, if you feel that way when you begin, is really just to focus on slowing down your breathing. And as you do the inhale, do it really deep, like from the bottoms of your toes. Inhale all the way through your body. And as you do the exhale, just let it be long and slow with your mouth open, so you'll hear a sound of a sigh, right? And if you can really lengthen the sigh, lengthen the exhale, what you'll find as you do that is you're literally dropping into your body. Your energy, your attention is coming with your breath down into your physical body. And as you do that, several times, long and slow, you'll start to see that your attention isn't being pulled as much to other places. That ping pong feeling tends to slow down and then settle, almost like you're watching the ping pong ball. It just slowly starts to go a little bit softer, and you'll just feel yourself landing. Yeah. Good. Go ahead and do one more. Inhale, and then really long, slow exhale. And try to go a little longer on that exhale and feel as you come down and into your body. There you go. Good. Good. And look how quickly you shifted. Look how quickly you arrived, and then literally let yourself just land and settle here in this space. Good. Good work. Good work. All right, so we're going to start by, I think I'm going to do some grounding first. So go ahead and feel your feet on the floor. If you're sitting in a chair, you can just plant your feet firmly down. If you're laying on a bed, you can just open up the heels of your feet. And if you're sitting cross-legged, you can have your ankles be sort of the grounding part, and then also the hip bones of your bottom. Just make sure your feet have a way for energy to move at the end, so you're not actually crossed on your legs. You're just sort of side by side with your legs. All right, so let's go ahead and do some grounding. So I want you to imagine you can open roots up from the bottom of your feet, or all those connection points I just described, and picture the roots. Let's have them be maybe an inch wide. We'll start a little bigger than usual today. Have all of your roots be about an inch wide. And you want to imagine, sort of like Jack and the Beanstalk, that one little bean created all those roots that went up into the sky. Imagine you're doing that, but you're going down into the earth. So these little connection points on your bodies can root in and multiply, multiply, multiply with roots. And as you start to feel that rooting in, a lot of times the mind will jump in and go, why do we need roots? This is stupid. What's the point of a root? We're doing just fine here in this body. So just notice if your mind wants to say this is pointless, and just allow the process to try, to begin, and then we'll just see if it can answer to the mind what it needs to hear. So feel the roots starting to go down into the ground. And they can be really slow and tentative at first. They're just kind of checking out the dirt. If you're several floors above the dirt, just imagine there's a pathway the roots can find their way across and down so that they make their way to the earth's surface. Yep. And then as the roots start to go into the ground, you can sort of visualize that they go down, but they also kind of go sideways, and maybe they go diagonally, and they kind of crisscross over each other, and they're just sort of starting to play, right? I spent the day yesterday weeding and mulching and planting, and it's amazing when you start to pull a weed, or really a weed more than a plant. When you start to pull, it's like the roots make no sense, especially when you're trying to pull them out. They make no sense. They go in a million directions, and you think you've got the roots of the weed, and then it wiggles all the way over to the other side of the flower bed. Imagine your roots underneath your body are playing in that same way. They're just delighting in the soil that has nutrients, and there you go. Yep, you felt that shift in your legs. They're delighting in how full of life the dirt actually is. There's such power and nourishment in the ground underneath us, and your roots know that. They know that if you can visualize a connection, they can go really far down. Yep. And as you visualize that, feel in your body how you're starting to tap into the energy of the earth. So what it might feel like is like your belly might feel really heavy. Your thighs might feel like they suddenly became 100 pounds per thigh. They're really dense and solid. Your bottom might feel like it's being tugged. Like for me, it feels like it's being tugged through the chair, right? Like the power of gravity is really pulling it down. Yep. And if it feels too intense, or if there's a lot of energy that's vibrating through your legs, just give it the direction of down, right? So anything that's sitting in you can be pulled like gravity down to your feet, and then down through those roots into the earth. Yeah, there you go. And you'll notice your body kind of settles a little bit. Yeah, use your breath. Send out anything that's ready to move through your feet. And then let's visualize the roots going even deeper and even wider. The reason to go deeper and wider is so that your attention is even more fully here in this moment. And so the roots ground us in and allow us to be fully present for whatever we're going to look at today. So as you feel the roots going further down, and then out to the side, almost like they're creating a step down of energy into the earth. Yep, feel it another time. It's going to go all the way down, maybe 500 feet, 1,000 feet, and out in another 500 or 1,000 feet direction. Yep, we'll just do one more. So all the way down, another 500 feet. Yeah, it might be feeling really heavy in your stomach or in your shoulders. Just go ahead and relax your body as you notice that. It's just you connecting to the earth and feeling how powerful that is underneath you. Yep, and then spread the roots out, 1,000 feet in all directions, in front of, behind, to the side of you. Good, and then relax your body. Yes, even your shoulders, even your jawbone, even your fingers, your toes, let your whole body just relax, because now you're supported. You're being held in this moment. Yeah, notice how quiet your mind got. Funny how it gets its answers, right? Once you just allow that space to be created. Good. All right, let's do a scan from the top of your body. We're just going to scan through almost like a little X-ray machine would do if it was going from the top of your head to your feet. And we're just going to notice any places in our bodies where it feels stuck or tight or heavy. Maybe there's an ache or a pain that you feel in your body. Just go ahead and notice that, and imagine as you're running this X-ray scanner from the top of your head all the way in front of your body and down to your feet. It's just slowly going to send down all of the things that feel stuck and blocked right to your feet. So you might have to visualize a pathway in your body that is like a magnet right through the center of your entire body until it hits your hips, and then it divides into two, and then there's a magnet right down each leg. And anything that feels stuck or heavy is going to get magnetized to that line. And then the earth is so powerful, sitting underneath your feet, it's just sucking and pulling from the bottom of you anything that's ready to move in this moment. It's funny, I woke up so sore this morning from all of the aches and pains of pulling weeds yesterday. And I sat in meditation and literally stood up, and my whole body was like, total relief, right? Those sore muscles just aren't as achy. So it really is just stuck energy in your body that is trying to bring your awareness to something that needs to be shifted or looked at. So in this moment, you don't have to go look at every achy part. You can just do this first round of clearing and just let the earth's gravity pull from your body anything that's just ready to move. Yep, make sure your feet feel open, or your heels or your ankles. You don't want to get all that stuck stuff down to your feet and then get it trapped. So just imagine everything opens up at your feet. Those roots are waiting. There you go. And then just let it run. Let's actually do one more scan. So go to the top of your head again. Yep, feel the roots open at the bottom of your feet. Feel the pathway that's magnetically pulling anything that's ready to move. Yep, and then just imagine from the top of your head, slowly you can move that scanner down, and as it moves down, it's going to sort of push ahead of it the things that are being magnetized down. Yep, you can take your time doing that. Yep. Use your breath. Good. And then when it hits your hip bones, it's going to divide. It's going to run down through your legs, two columns of energy moving. And keep your feet open. And then all the way down to your feet and into the earth. There you go. Good. And then relax your body again. It's funny, sometimes I feel my body tensing up because I really want to force and push all of that junk out. So just go ahead and loosen it all back. Relax all the muscles and then check back in with your breath. Doesn't it feel good? It's amazing how much we hold on to, and then this few minutes of moving energy, and you're like, yes, relief. All right, so the next step, let's connect in with Source, and then we're going to do a little play with some Mother's Day energy. All right, so Source today. Let's see what would serve. Okay, so I want you to imagine, I think this is how we did it last week, but it just feels right again for today. I want you to imagine that Source is going to take on a human form or some sort of humanish shape. So even if you're used to your God being a God that is outside, above, up, high, right, in the heavens, or watching everything from a higher location or platform. For today, what we're going to play with is the embodiment of that Source energy, that God energy, just being here in some sort of form that we can have a connection with directly, face to face. If it feels uncomfortable or new to you, just play with it. If you don't want to go all the way into it, you can stop, you can pause. But I'm encouraging you to just consider this as a different way to connect and perhaps open up a different form of communication. So if you can visualize perhaps God as, like when God took on the form of His Son, right, of Jesus Christ, and that was a human person, there was a way that humans here could relate to that energy because it was in a form that looked familiar, right? So imagine God can take a human form and just sort of plop down right in front of you. So if you're sitting in a chair, you can visualize another chair right in front of you. My chair is actually by my bed, so I can visualize God like flopping down on the bed, like you would do as a child with your hands propped up, under your chin, just looking at you. And if you're on the floor, maybe God actually sits crisscross applesauce right in front of you. And register how your body feels to be in communication in this way with your God, your Creator, whatever word you use for that energy that creates all life, all worlds. And then go ahead and relax your body as much as you feel comfortable doing. Yeah, so why would God want to come and sit just with you? Yeah, what I notice right away is I smile so big when I ask that question because I can feel Source saying, why wouldn't I? Where else would I want to be, right? This is exactly where I would want to be. With you, my favoritist of favorites, right? This is absolutely where I would want to pick to be. Yeah, so what is there to know in this moment? you might find there's emotion when you connect with God in this one-on-one direct way. There's such a truth to it, or like a rawness, a realness. And often in our days we disassociate from this level of connection to our God. We're busy. We're really busy. We are so busy, we have no time for conversations like this. And yet the beauty of pausing and feeling that level of connection, feeling such love. What I often visualize or sense or feel when I connect with God in this way is there's such a need in that energy to touch, to connect with humans. Like always, there's some way that I see God either putting his or her hand, I usually say his just because it's familiar, but many of my friends say her, it's a goddess. Either is good. But I visualize God so badly wanting to put a hand on my shoulder or a hand on my back or stroking my hair off of my forehead, or putting a hand on my heart and just emphasizing through touch how much love and energy moves between the two of us. Yes, just allow as much as feels comfortable to you in this moment. Yeah, and if it feels intense or if emotions are coming up in you, you can just use that pathway in your body again. So just let energy move, be magnetized to the central line that we created in you. And then feel the earth underneath your feet, just pulling whatever is ready to move energetically all the way down to your feet. And then you choose to open your feet and, right, just energy moving through. Good. Good. It's amazing how your heart just starts to open in this space, when it's you and your source. It's amazing. Whew. Okay. All right. So you can let God hang out there if you would like with you through the rest of the call, the rest of the day. Or you can say, whoa, buddy, enough. Back up a little. That's a lot for me to take right now, and I know you're there, and I feel the love, and I need a little room. Either is fine. Either is fine. Yeah, so go ahead and connect back in with your breath. Yeah, so today's topic, it's so funny. I really was resistant to it needs to be about Mother's Day, because I thought, well, everyone talks about Mother's Day on Mother's Day, and we should talk about Mother's Day other days during the year. And when I sat down in my meditation this morning to feel what needed to be brought up today, right away it was about Mother's Day. I'm like, really? I feel so lame. Are we really going to do Mother's Day? And yet it feels so appropriate, and also from a different perspective. So here's what brought the inspiration. I was reading, I forget what the name of it was. It's one of the articles that's sent out about astrology and what's going on, and it was about the new moon. And it said this, life has felt pretty serious lately with so many planets retrograde. Unless we're slowing down enough to really connect with one another and taste the many small pleasures of our lives, things could feel downright lonely and depressing. So it's time to practice patience and really feast on our lives, inwardly and outwardly. Connect with your deep sense of self-sufficiency and abundance. Demonstrate generosity, knowing that you are enough and you have enough. Only by giving it away can you experience its fullness. The words feast fully on your life, literally, like, I couldn't stop thinking about those words and how beautiful that image is of life being that full that you can feast on it. Right? It's not saying just a little mouthful or a plate and you just finish what's on your plate and that's all you get. It's feasting. You know, when I picture a feast, I think of the olden days with knights and castles and turkeys loaded up on platters and just so much food that it's, I forget the word, but it's like beyond extravagant, right? It's opulent. And yet that feels so true, right? Especially as we connect in with our source. You know, there's not this limited amount of love or support that is sent from source to us. There's this as much as you ever could want and more waiting as soon as you ask for it. Right? This endless supply. And so when I was sitting in my meditation today thinking about that, of course, you know, on Mother's Day, feasting in life, it comes right back to where life begins, who gives us life, who creates life. And so I just had this overwhelming feeling of gratitude this morning for my mom, for the giving of life that she gave when I was born. And so I sat with that for a while, and what I would like to do is explore the soul contracts that we have with our mothers from a higher perspective than the victim or the one who didn't get what she wanted or it hasn't gone as planned. I'd really like to take some time to feel into this contract that moms and daughters and sons have at a soul level. So first, perhaps a little background. My belief about contracts and, well, life in general is that we live multiple times and we come as a soul to each lifetime fully aware of the lessons that we want to work on in that lifetime. So whatever it is, more love, more courage, more power, more knowledge, more understanding. We have this agreement with all of the people in our lives that this is my work. For this lifetime, this is the thing I'm going to work on. And so when we're arranging, before we arrive here, all the things that have to get lined up for this life to go in the direction we want it to go, we start with our mothers, right? The very first contract is with our mothers. And I've looked at this in energy with so many men and women, what the contract looked like and how we work through it because it's so complex. Our mothers are our greatest teachers until we have children, and then children blow it out of the water. But our mothers are such fundamental teachers and students of ours. And to share just a moment about my story, in my energy work, when I've looked at my contract with my mom, the way that I arrived in this lifetime, I was, according to my mom, I was born 2 days late because she wanted me to be born on my dad's birthday. But it was a Sunday and the doctors were playing golf, and so they don't deliver babies on Sundays, according to my mom's story. And so she had to wait to have me for a couple of days. And in energy work, I have felt the impatience that I had, this urge to get out there and start my life and not being able to get out of her womb, And what I've come to understand is that was immediately setting both of us up for the dynamic we would have for most of our lives. which is me going, come on, come on, come on, let's go, let's go, what are you waiting for? And my mom holding me back and saying, be patient, wait, right? Wait, look at things, check all the options, look at all the perspectives. Sit with it for a moment. Almost overprotective at times, right? Like, I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want it to be painful. And me pushing always up against the edge of that, like, no, let me go, let me go. And of course, I created that with my daughter in my birth of her, right? The same exact setup of she wanting to come out and me saying, no, 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 wait. And it was a 24-hour birth. It was long and painful. So we begin these contracts from the moment of birth. And then the lessons just weave, throughout life. And we learn and we stretch and we grow, and sometimes it feels very painful, and sometimes it's the most beautiful relationship you could imagine. And yet always it's pushing us to be in this soul work that we came here to do. So that's my belief on the philosophy. What I would like to do is have us tap into energetically what that contract feels like with our mothers. So even if if you have a daughter or son, for this exercise, I would really like for you to go to your mother. Look up, look above the lineage, not down to the children. Look at your own relationship with your mother, and you can always come back to this recording and explore it from the other perspective of looking at your children. But I encourage you today to look at your own relationship with your mom. So feel your grounding underneath you. Feel the roots going way down into the ground, keeping you present. Yep. And then recognize that pathway again that we set up in your body. So as things come up, joy, fun, laughter, sadness, any emotion, all you got to do is let the magnet in the center of your body tug at that emotion and pull it. And then you just run it all the way down to your feet and down into the ground. And what I would love is if you just play with letting the feelings wash through you, not get stuck, right? Just let it be energy that moves. It's not designed to be something that creates havoc in your body. It's just, oh, yeah, I could see where I felt that and she felt that, and move it down and out, right? The way forward is through feeling it. All right, so I want you to visualize, start with your mom when she was little, like, 1, 2, 3 years old. See if you can visualize your mom as a little girl and what her energy must have been like in its pure form, like all little children, right? Probably delightful and fun and playful. And then see if you can visualize her getting a little bit older. So we start school, all these expectations, obligations, responsibility, judgment, right? It starts to shape some of what we think it's going to be like in life. If anything comes up at that, just wash it through your body, down and out. If you have a match, move the energy. And then picture your mom as she starts dating, My mom was always looking for Prince Charming. She'd read so many fairy tales, right? That was what she wanted, was this prince on a white horse. So visualize your mom and the hopes and the dreams that she probably had for marriage and children, all of the things that she wanted. Yeah. Let energy move through you. And then when she starts to have children, so perhaps you're an only child or maybe you're one of many, if you can visualize what was going on with your mom at that time where she was having you or pregnant with you? Right, if she already had other children, how busy and full her schedule probably was. Right? And then there's this moment. There's a moment where a mama gets pregnant with a child, and this child is you. And there's a knowing at the soul level, right? Oh, yeah, that's right. I signed up for this thing that we're going to do together. And so I'm going to do my part, right? Which is be exactly the kind of mama that you as a soul asked for when we made that contract before either of us ever existed in this lifetime. And whether it's conscious or subconscious, the mama knows and remembers that soul contract. And then all the pieces start to fall into place. So whatever your contract was with your mom, right, you start growing inside of her belly, and you start to have your own little soul opinions about things, and you're going to kick her, you're going to make her pee, and you're going to make her feel nauseous, and this dance begins between a mother and a child. This getting to know each other starts. What I can see in this moment is how much communication happens at night while the mama is sleeping. You know, the baby is just, so funny to me, it looks like yelling at the mama. Like, and this is the way it's going to be, and don't forget, you said we were going to do this and this and this. There's this beautiful falling in love thing that happens between two souls when the physical bodies are working together to create a child. No matter what your story is with your mom, this time of two souls being in one body and creating life, it's a soul contract. It's a partnership that doesn't have human words or human explanation. So regardless of your relationship with your mom, or if she's alive or past, feel in this moment the love that exists between two souls who would agree to this type of connection, regardless of what happens later. Yeah, so we're going to stay in this space for a little bit. And I would love for you to explore in this tender space, right? You are a fully conscious soul, in my opinion, when you're in the womb. I don't think we forget the contract until we're actually physically born and breathing air in this lifetime. But I believe in the womb that contract is being negotiated, is being fine-tuned, right, between the mom and the child. And so go ahead and feel your rooting underneath you so that you stay here in this moment. And I'm going to give you some quiet time, but I'm going to prompt a few questions along the way to guide you, perhaps. If you need that guidance, you'll hear my voice and you'll go in that direction. If you just want to float here and feel what it feels like to be in that space with your mom, you don't need to hear what I'm saying, and it won't bother you. So go ahead and just feel the grounding connecting you here. But allow yourself to tap in and feel the energy of you as a soul in the womb space with the body of your mother. And you can picture this, as your mom's laying in bed at night and you're growing in her belly. Energy work, it crosses time and dimensions and allows you to just connect into the energy of any moment you put your attention on. So just by bringing your attention here, you're tapping right in, you're connecting right in to that communication you shared with your mom. Yeah, and use your breath to stay present. If you don't want to know the contract or don't want to look at this, you can just float here and just feel the love that existed or still exists. But if you're curious about the contract, go ahead and just sense what were some of the things that you wanted to learn in this lifetime that your soul said, this is my work. Right? For me, it was presence, being fully present. That was a big one for my mom to accept, right? A big lesson for her to teach me. Yeah, so you can imagine a conversation between you and your mom as you're floating in her belly, right? You can just say, what was the contract? What did we agree to? And how did she feel about those things that she said she would teach you? Was she excited or fearful or resistant? And notice how determined you are about the things that you are coming here to learn. Right? You're not wishy-washy about it. When you're just a soul, you know clearly what it is that you're being pulled towards. Even if you can't articulate it, there's a knowing, a feeling in your body, an urgency, right? I have this lifetime, this one lifetime, and I'm here to feast on it. And these are the things that I want to do, or learn, or be. Yeah, if it feels intense, move the energy to your magnet line and then down to your feet. Open your feet up and just send the energy or momentum down into the earth. And then relax your body back into the space with your mom. Yeah. What was part of her contract to learn from you? I know, isn't that surprising? Right? There's a contract where she was going to learn from you. We forget that sometimes. What are you here to teach your mom? Even if she's passed, it's okay. She's still connected to you. The lessons continue even after the lifetime ends physically. What else did she want to learn from you? What's so funny is I just got that my mom wants to learn the same thing she wants to teach me. I've never seen that before. Perhaps that is true of you and your mom, right? You actually want to learn very similar things, but generationally they look different. Use your breath and just move it through your body. All right, and being a wise little soul in her belly, my guess is you already knew a few of the bumps that were going to come up, right? A few of the times where one or the other of you would question or push up against the edge of the relationship. See if that version of you that knew everything can show you exactly how it was going to look and how you already knew that. You already agreed to that. There is such forgiveness in knowing that it was all exactly as it was supposed to be, that it's perfect. Yeah, so go ahead and just wash that all the way through your body. Magnetize it to the center line and then down to your feet, out into the earth. Yeah, and then come back again to your body floating inside of your mom's belly. What did you both agree to learn or share or teach each other about love? Yeah. And is there anything you can shift in this moment? Perhaps it's more forgiveness. Perhaps it's tuning back into that little baby body heart and just going, oh, that's right. That's right. I remember I said I was going to be really sweet, or I would cuddle a lot, or I would make mom laugh, or there's so many things, right? Like that little version of you that said, I know exactly how to love you. I'm going to do it like this, and you're going to love it. You're going to love it the best of everyone. Yeah, what if that little baby soul can remind you in this moment, this grown-up soul, of just how stinking cute you are going to be? Yeah, this contract, it isn't all heavy, right? It isn't all about work or growth or being mature. It's about feasting on life. Abundant, fun, playful, silly love. And what are the ways that your mom agreed to show you love that were silly and goofy? And if she didn't fulfill her part of that contract or didn't do it exactly the way you'd hoped she would, because life was harder or she was busy or all the millions of reasons that life brings us, what if you could just allow it to be a non-issue, allow it to just move through you like that wave of energy we've been playing with? What if you take those expectations and disappointments and letdowns and you just let it run right into the center of your body, be magnetized to that line, and then just move it. just move it. Just release it all the way down to your hips. And then rush it down like a waterfall through your legs, into the earth, through your feet. And remember Mama Earth right underneath you. She can take all that disappointment. She can take all that judgment, expectation, whatever it is, right? And just process it, recycle it. In a few minutes, we'll bring some of that energy back in that's recycled and purified. But for now, just Move all the expectations down and out. And see if you can come back to the contract in its highest potential, its highest form. And know that that contract that is so beautiful in this lifetime lasts and goes on and continues and continues. And so when you do this healing in this moment, when you release those stuck places or judgments or disappointments, not only are you healing for yourself right here and right now, you heal backwards through the family lineage behind you, right? So it frees up space for your mom then to release attachments to her mom and her mom and her mom. And you move it forward, so you create this new space inside of you that then sends more love to your children and your children's children and their children. And so the whole expands even more because you create a shift right here and right now. It's remarkable to witness from this side of the phone. I just want to let you know. My husband was telling me yesterday that he had a parent of one of his students have a conversation with him a couple days ago. His mom passed many, many years ago, very young, and she used to own this little store in a small town here in Cincinnati, and it was a gift shop. And he was talking to this parent, and she goes, "I swear I've known you from somewhere. Where do I know you from?" And he said, "Well, my mom used to own this store in Oakley." And she said, "The pumpkin shop?" And literally, he said, she turned to him and she goes, I knew you. You look exactly like your mother. You have the same face." And he said he just felt like this wave of love move through his whole body. He said it took him so off guard. You know, he wasn't expecting that reminder, that little touch across dimensions from his mom to him. It makes me want to cry. It's so sweet, right? Like that love between a mother and a child, it doesn't end. It doesn't end in this physical form. It continues and it stays and it expands. And when you heal like you do right now, you create more room for more love. And more after that, and more after that. It's so beautiful. So anything that came up for you as I was sharing that, just go ahead and bring all of that. Magnetize it into the center line in your body. And just feel how the earth underneath your feet is waiting to take that and move it down and release it. The other thing, that I just want to share, this motherly love, this maternal protection, right? This connection between a child and a mother that moves between time. It creates a resonance, I believe, inside of our hearts, and that resonance is one that connects you to anyone you want to open up to. So you don't necessarily just have to have a child of your own to share this sort of love with other people. It doesn't just have to be within the family lineage. When you do this healing and you allow your heart to heal the mother wound, I guess that's the lingo, to patch some of those places where we have felt let down or disappointed perhaps, your heart can love bigger, more fully. And that love is needed in this world so desperately, right? By so many people, by all the other people who haven't had the mother love that they wanted, or anyone, really anyone. It's interesting to me on Mother's Day, I get texts usually from my daughter's friends and some of my other friends who aren't very close to their mothers, and that's what they say. They're like, thank you for the mother love. We all have that capacity inside of us to love people in that whole, soulful, original, deep love way. And when you touch these emotions and just let them move through you and release the judgment and the doubt and the expectation and the obligation, there's even more room for love in your heart. And then it just flows out, right? It just flows. And the world, I believe, expands from that space, and more love creates more love, creates more love. Whew. All right, so anything that came up from all of my emotion that's moving, go ahead and just feel the center line in your body. Pull anything that's ready to move right into that magnet in the center of your body. And then feel it running all the way down through to your hip bones, and then down your legs all the way to your feet. And you get to choose. You can hang on to the feelings, or you can just open your feet up and just allow the energy to be pulled down into the earth. So it's just going to suck and tug, almost like a plunger in reverse, right? The earth is plunging from the bottoms of your feet. Anything that is ready to move out in this moment that doesn't serve you. Old stories, old junk. Yep, just being sucked down into the earth. And then feel the roots that you created and how deep they go and how happy they are to be in this ground underneath you. How they're dancing and playing. You can even imagine, now that we're in this clearer space without some of our stories, that my roots can stretch out and tap your roots and say hello and overlap, and everyone who's on this call or listening to the recording later can just connect and touch for a moment from that pure space of love, deep in the earth. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Good. All right, and then let's bring some pure energy back up into our body. So go ahead and pull your roots a little closer to you if you'd like. And then feel how the roots are now taking this recycled energy. I so love this part. They're taking the recycled energy, and the earth is now going to start sending up towards the bottoms of your feet. Good, excited, positive, supportive energy. You can give it a color if you want, like a brownish gold or a deep reddish gold. And you can feel how the earth is saying, good work clearing some of your old junk, old beliefs. And now let's fill you back up with support and with love. So you can feel from the bottoms of your feet, you're going to start tugging and sucking at that energy that the earth wants to send up. Some of you are already way up in your bodies. You can go slow or fast, whatever you prefer. But feel from the bottoms of your feet how your legs are starting to soak up all of that energy from the earth. It might feel shaky. It's okay. It's just energy moving. You might yawn or burp or stretch or cry. It's just energy moving. So feel that earth energy coming all the way up your legs, through your knees. I'll go ahead and do it at my pace, and you guys can hop ahead or whatever feels good to you. Bring that earth energy all the way up your thighs. Yep, feel it running into your hips, clearing out all of the root chakra, and filling every single cell up with earth energy, with love, with support, with positive momentum. And feel that bubbling all the way up through your second chakra, moving through to your belly, your third chakra, filling every cell of your body, every soul of your body too, moving all the way up through your heart. If it's too hard to go through your heart, it can just wash around and massage your heart and fill up all the little edges and crevices. And that earth energy will come all the way up to your shoulders. And then you can feel your shoulders relax as earth energy moves in. And then washes down through your arms all the way to your fingertips, out your fingers into the air around you. And then more earth energy coming all the way up through your body into your neck. Massaging your neck, reminding you how strong and graceful and beautiful it is, how much love you have behind you and around you. And then all the way through your face, up through your third eye chakra at your forehead, your crown chakra above you. And then it's going to keep pouring out the top of you. There's so much coming in from the earth. It's going to pour out the top of you and then wash down and around your body, all the way back to the ground, and it's going to fill up your aura, your energy space that's about 2 feet circumference around your body. And you'll feel it. It's like expanded, it's almost like your lungs can't take in more oxygen kind of feeling, like, right? There's a lot of energy and love and support all the way around you and above your head. And then you can bring it back in just a little bit if you want, if it feels too far out, so it feels comfortable and easy. And then feel the earth energy go all the way back down to your feet. And then any extra is just going to go back into the earth. And so you've got this supply running of earth energy that comes in through your body, out through your crown, and then around your aura and back into the earth. So good. So good. So you can stay here in this space and just run energy for a few more moments if you want, or you can just float. You can feel your heart and the love that you've allowed to move in there. Yeah, and then if your mom's alive, send her some love. Call her today. If she's not alive, still send her some love. She'll get the message. And from me to you, so much love today. Happy Mother's Day.